didn't make that goal either. So I don't always make my goals, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying. And that's for every goal that I have in life, personal, financial, whatever. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying. So it was only $13.84 short. So if I'm not going to meet my goals, at least I want to get as close to it as possible. That's the point of having goals. Doesn't matter if you completely accomplish that goal. It's the setting it and trying to get to it that matters. Hi everybody, thanks for clicking on this video and welcome to my savings, budgeting, and YouTube journey. I am here to represent the hardworking, low-income single parents. On this channel, I experiment with different budgeting styles, savings goals, and I share the strategies I learn as I go. So if that sounds interesting at all to you, please go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to follow my journey. So today we're doing our closeout for the month of June. Doesn't officially end for me or for any of us really on June 30th. My paydays don't always align with the monthly calendar, but this time it does. So tomorrow is the 30th, which is the last day of the pay period. But I'm going to close out today. I don't plan on spending any money today or tomorrow. I'm going to make sure I don't spend any money today or tomorrow. So we're going to close out with the balances that we have as of now. So I want to show you kind of what we spent for the month of June. All right, so here was our budget for the month of June. Okay, so here on the left-hand side, you'll see everything that we budgeted, and then on the right-hand side, there's two columns that I made on the right-hand side. So the first side is A, and then it's B, so my second paycheck, and the third one is the total of what I spent in both paychecks. So I have a system that's a little bit different. I don't just do paycheck 1 and paycheck 2. I do get paid bi-weekly. Sometimes I pay things out of order, so that's why I use A and B instead of 1 and 2. So sometimes a bill might not be due until the next paycheck, but I'll pay it early so that I kind of have an even expense each pay period. So that's why I use A and B and not, the regular first paycheck and second paycheck. So for debt, for example, Discover, I plan to pay $35. So that was my monthly projection. So before the month gets started, and you'll see this when I do my July budget, it's just kind of a guess or estimate on how much I want to spend. And then every pay period, once I know how much my paycheck will be, I do an exact budget. So for the month of June, I budgeted $35 that I'd spend in debt on the Discover card. I actually paid $108 on there. I planned to pay $108 in the month of June for debt, but I ended up paying $206. So, I mean, that's a good thing to pay more in debt than less. Everything else we were pretty much in line with, except for the unexpected expenses, of course, because they were unexpected. And I did do a June closeout for the first pay period. So if you want to look back and see how much I spent in paycheck A, you can do that. Take a look at that June bi-weekly closeout. And then so what I did this pay period was just do a closeout of the second part of June. So I just went through my expenses for the last 2 weeks of June. So that was the first one. And then I went into my paycheck budget and I updated how much I spent in that pay period. So the only thing, actually, we were in line with everything. The only thing that we went over for this is in home, a little bit in home, and in savings, we saved more than we planned, which is good. And that was only because we had the YouTube income to save as well, and I don't budget for that ahead of time. That's just something, when it comes up, and we do whatever we can with it. So for paycheck B, we were actually in line, so we were within $40 of the budget, so we didn't overspend in the month. We didn't overspend in this last pay period, so that was good. But we definitely overspent in the first one. So let me show you what I'm going to start doing from now on. I just want to show you July. It's easier for me to break down the paychecks A and B because that's when I do my real budget. The monthly projection is kind of just, I'm guessing how much or what's going to come up this month. It's really just for me to see the month as a whole and see what things might be budget related within that month, like special events or birthdays or graduation parties, whatever. So it's good for me to see in advance. That's all the monthly budget is, just a projection. The bi-weekly budgets are my actual most important budgets that I do because I know exactly how much my paycheck will be. And I am a zero-based budgeter, which means I know where every dollar of that paycheck is going to go, or at least I plan for where every dollar of that paycheck will go. So back to the closeout, I want to show you my spend analysis for the month of June really quickly. Let's start here. I have no idea how much rolled over from May to June. I don't even know if I did that. I don't think I did a May closeout, so we're going to skip that. Maybe I did. I don't know. Total income, not including the roller because I don't know how much it was, meaning I don't know how much was left from May when I started the month of June, but that's okay. So total in income was $5,180. So that includes sinking funds. So that includes any savings that I had that was used in the month. So I already know, like, I used $3,000 over the past 2 months to pay for the gutters that I got installed, and then we put a deposit for our vacation. So lots of things were spent in the month of June. Total expenses were $4,356.65, difference of $824, and we saved $830. So I know there was some sort of balance that rolled over from last month to June because, of course, I saved more than what was left. So as of right now, I have a total of $353.16 left in my spending accounts. So I'm just going to leave that as a buffer. I'm not going to spend anything. Cash, my wallet only has $150, so it has some left in pet and health. We went to 2 festivals the last 2 weeks, so yeah, there is nothing left. So here's the breakdown of what I spent in each of the categories. Most of my expenses were my home and saved. Entertainment was a lot. Entertainment was a lot more than it usually is. I just want to look real quick. Yeah, entertainment was a lot more than it usually is, but that was because it was festival. So what I'm going to start doing is in the summer and spring months, I'm going to start giving myself some more spending money for the variable categories. So did I achieve my goals this month? So here were my goals for the month. Were to try monthly budget only. That was a definite no. I'm not going to be doing that. After I thought about it, I decided it was not a good idea. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm probably keep hitting this thing. So I decided monthly budget only was not a good idea for me. I need those biweekly paychecks. So I didn't end up doing a monthly budget only. Tax repayment plan, I did set that up and added that to my budget plan. Also, number 3, 15 no spends. I only made 12 no spends this month. So for the first 2 weeks, I had 5 no spends, and for the second, I had 7. So, which means those are just days where I didn't spend any money outside of absolute necessities like groceries or gas or like whatever we absolutely need. And 4 was to make $200 on YouTube. I didn't make that goal either. So I don't always make my goals, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying. And that's for every goal that I have in life, personal, financial, whatever. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying. So it was only $13.84 short. So if I'm not going to meet my goals, at least I want to get as close to it as possible. That's the point of having goals. Doesn't matter if you completely accomplish that goal. It's the setting it and trying to get to it that matters, in my unprofessional opinion, of course. So yeah, June was a good month overall. We didn't overspend by too much. And the only thing that we spent mostly on is for the gutters that we needed for the house. And that was actually a good thing that it's done and out of the way. That golfing trip, I planned on spending $22. I actually spent $47. Yep. So June was an okay month. It was an okay month. So did I achieve my goals? If not, why not? I did not try monthly budget because I figured that it would not be sufficient, and I agree with that. No spends. I'm 3 short of the no spend goal. So as I said, I was going to start putting more money in my spending accounts for spring and summer months. Maybe next year I'll just start doing that. Groceries, of course, same thing. I always have trouble in. So yeah, we'll talk about that more later. Let me see. Actually, let me just go back and look. So for groceries, I planned for the month $175. That was my monthly projection. But I ended up spending $386.49. So yeah, I spent a lot more than I planned. But like I said, I'm not basing things on the monthly projection because the monthly projection, I have no idea how much my paychecks are going to be exactly. So once I know, let me show you, for example, for June, this is kind of newer to me. the way I'm doing these closeouts. So I want to kind of explain to you what my new thought process is. So for groceries in Paycheck A, I planned 160.18, right? That was my plan once I knew how much the paycheck was going to be. And then for Paycheck B, I planned 160.18. I planned $175. So total for the month, I planned $335.18. And we spent still more than we planned. So yeah, groceries is kind of a never-ending struggle. So what could I improve this month? So for the upcoming month, increase the entertainment and the family fun budget. So I'm going to be working on bulking those up, increase the grocery budget. So I did do a new cheat sheet. You'll see that in my monthly budget. When I set up July, I increased the grocery budget, not by a lot, but I'm also going to kind of combine grocery and toiletries so that if I need to spend a little bit more on groceries, I can do that and pull it from the toiletry fund and not feel bad about it. We're just going to put those together. I usually spend them together at Walmart anyway, so that's not going to be a big deal. The third idea that I'm going to do going forward is, it's always a goal to do this, but I hardly ever actually do it. I kind of do it for the week as we go, but I need to get better at meal planning before I go grocery shopping, at least every 2 weeks. So that's the wrap up for the June closeout. So pretty fast, pretty easy. The next thing that I'm going to do is do my monthly budget, and I am mostly going to do things back on paper. I'm going back to my roots, y'all. I'm going back to paper just because it's easier. I am going to keep my sinking funds and savings tracker digital. I did say that before. I'm keeping that digital because it works, and because there's so much math I need to do with it. It is just easier to keep it that way. So I'm going to show you what my update is for sinking funds and savings. When I did my savings challenges, you guys saw that I kind of struggled through, the amounts weren't accurate. So I went through all my binders and updated how much I have in each. And I went through what I have in Sofi, so including the interest that I've gotten so far. I haven't gotten the interest for June yet. Haven't gotten the interest for June yet, but of course that's probably going to come out. I'll see that probably in the first couple of weeks of July, and I'll update that for then. So what am I looking for? June monthly. I am looking to show you my sinking funds and savings tracker for the month of June. When I did my closeout of the quarter and I showed you guys how much I saved, I was off. So actually, I'm happy I was off because I have more than I thought I did. Okay, so I tried to go into my tablet and it won't let me. It's just giving me a hard time. Probably because I changed so much and it's slow. So anyway, here are the updates that I made to my sinking funds and savings tracker. You can see here, these are all the envelopes that I have in my binders and cash here at home. These are my savings challenges that you see me do every once in a while. This is what I have here for my car note. I have the SoFi savings that are earning interest, and then I have the step card that I just use for my variable expenses. So that is just, there's a little savings account in there for my daughter. Blah, blah, blah. I added up what I have in each of the binders, what I have in the SoFi, and what I have in my step card. And I have a total as of now, $11,000.53 total, and not including what I have in my wallet. But that's not much anyway. So it's a total of $11,000.53. There were a few that I had, the numbers were wrong in here. So I do actually have more money than I thought that I'd have. But as far as the beginning and end balance, so we started the month with $12,370.58 total, right? And then minus. And we ended it with $11,000 and start over. $12,370.58, and we're ending it with $11,000.53. So we're down $1,370.05. So even though I saved money, I am still in the negative as far as sinking funds and savings challenges go, but that's because we used so much for the gutters. All right, so that is it for me today. That's the end of my closeout. All right, here it is. Here's just a bigger view of the same thing that I just showed you. So sinking funds, this is all that I have in cash. This is what I have in my Sofi savings accounts and checking accounts. Okay, so yep, that's the ending balance. So we're ending off the month with $11,000.53 in the bank accounts total. And then I went back and I created the starting for July. So all I did was take all the ending balances for the month of June, and we're gonna start fresh with July. Okay, so here's the same setup for July. I gotta rename this. We're gonna start fresh in July. Any interest that I get, I'll put that, from the Sofi accounts for each. I will add that here, so we'll have the starting balance for the first payday. So July is a little bit different, which I'm just realizing I'm gonna have to edit this. I'm gonna have to edit this spreadsheet for July. In July, we're getting paid 3 paychecks, so we can't do the A and B paycheck system. We're gonna do a budget by paycheck, which means I'll show you that in the monthly budget. So I'm gonna have to adjust this for 3 paychecks instead of 2 for the month. I'll show you the roles and what they're for. So this is rollover or interest. So any money that I save from one paycheck to the next that I put away in these binders, that's what goes here. And that's what the new balance will be. So I'm adding those two together and getting the new balance. Then when I get paid on the first paycheck, I add whatever money I have to each of the envelopes. And then we're going to, of course, add those two together and get the new balance. The subtraction and addition, that is for, did you really just freeze on me right now? That's for if I add anything in between. Let's say I get some unexpected money and I add those to my savings, or if, of course, I use them like I used for the gutters. So that was subtracted out of there, but the gutters came out the bank account. So if I use anything like, let's say, from family fund, of course, we're going to subtract that from there. Rollover is saved. So at the end of that pay period, if I save anything from paycheck A to paycheck B, that's what I'm going to put here. So we're going to add that here, add that all up, and we'll start with our balance. And then paycheck B, of course, I'm going to add some more. We'll get the balance from that. Bonus income, that's usually my YouTube paycheck. Whatever I add from there, that new balance. Then if I use anything, I've subtracted. If I save anything from that, rolled over. So if I had money right now left in my cash wallet that I wanted to save, that's what I'd add to this here. And we get the end balance. So I know that's a lot. Of course, you don't have to do this. I was doing this on paper, and this is what a similar version looks like on paper, just for the cash. So who knows, maybe cash I'll put back to paper, but I really like having this tracker so I can see everything, and it does the math for me for all of the balances. So I had added this column here for all the balances so I can know what I have altogether. My lights just flashed, and I hope the lights are not going to go out. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I want you to always remember it is about progression and not about perfection. Question of the day is, how many bank accounts do you have? Am I excessive with these bank accounts? I'm going to keep doing it because it works for me. But how many bank accounts do you have, and what do you use each of them for? That's the question of the day. If you made it to the end of the video, leave me a giraffe. Is there a giraffe emoji? Leave me your favorite animal emoji. How about that? All right, that's it. Thanks again. Happy saving. Bye.